All right, so income is the money that you earn. It's the money that comes into your account. Comes in, income. Okay, that's kind of where the word came from. So on this problem, this shows all of this guy's expenses, or the Jones family's expenses. How much money they have to spend on housing, on food, childcare, medical costs, transportation, and other necessities, other things that they need. Okay, the question is, what is the minimum income that the Jones family needs monthly in order to afford their budget? Okay, so how would we figure that out? How do we know how much money they need to afford all this? Well, it's pretty simple. You just add all this up, and that tells you what their total expenses are, and that's how much money they need. Okay, now, this is a very simple concept, but it is a very hard problem. And you may be thinking, what? It's just addition. Why is it hard? Well, because on the STAR test, you don't get a calculator, and you have to add all of this by hand. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers where you could make a mistake. And even one mistake gets the whole answer wrong. So, even though it is a very easy concept, a lot of people get this problem wrong because of small mistakes. My first piece of advice is do not try to add all the numbers at once. Some of you may be able to do that, and that's great, but the truth is you have a higher chance of making a mistake if you do it that way. So, I recommend that you group them. Do 2 at a time, or 3 at a time if you want to do it that way. Just don't do all of them at the same time. Okay, so first I'm going to add these. 593 plus 491. Okay. That gives me 1,084. Now I'm going to add these two. That's 6, that's 15, and that's 10. So these two, I get 1,056. Now I'm going to add these two. I have 322 plus 309. And that gives me 631. All right, now I just need to add all 3 of those up. Okay, and that gives me 2,771. All of his expenses, or that family, all of their expenses added up together is $2,771. So that's how much money they need every month. So, in order to afford that, he needs to make that much money every month. So his minimum income, the money that he makes, has to be $2,771. Okay? So again, easy concept, but you have to be super, super, super careful. If you're a messy writer, then you need to use as much space as you need and line all your numbers up and just be extra, extra careful. Okay, so this example, this little notes part goes with example B. Okay, Jason and his family have the following budget. What is the minimum monthly income Jason needs in order to afford their budget? So this is the exact same type of question, and we do the exact same thing. So I'm going to group them. I have these 2 numbers I'm going to add up together, these 2, and then, okay, I have 3 here, so I'm going to add those 3 together. Okay, so first I have 496 plus That gives me 1,130. Okay, then I have 1,286 plus 249. Then I have 1,535. Then these. That gives me 786. Now I need to add these three numbers together. And where do I have room for that? I guess I'm going to have to do it right here. On the STAR test, use as much paper as you need. Okay, if you are out of room like this, raise your hand and ask for more paper. They are required to give you as much paper as you need. Okay, don't be shy about it. Okay, so whenever I added those together, I got a total expense of $3,451. That's how much money he needs every month to afford that budget. Okay, the next question says, what is the minimum annual income? Okay, annual. In class, I asked students, what does annual mean? And there were a lot of students that didn't know what it means. So if you don't know what it means, then okay, let's figure it out. Annual. Okay, if this question is asking monthly and the next question is asking for annual, then using, just context clues, what do you think it might mean? If you said per year or yearly, then you're right. Annual means yearly. So they want to know what is the minimum yearly income. So we know how much each month is. How do you figure out how much the year is? Okay, if you said multiply by 12, you are correct. Why 12? Because 1 year equals 12 months. So we take 3,451 and we multiply it by 12. I hate it when I run out of room. Okay, so I got 41,412. That's how much money he needs every year in order to pay for all of these expenses. All right, and this question right here, in class I actually just skipped example A, but if you did look at example A is for a girl named Paula who is a college age girl, and Jason has a family. So if you look at the budgets, Paula her expenses are things like college fund, entertainment, snacks, whereas Jason's budget includes things like childcare, medical insurance, taxes. Okay, the difference is in the type of expenses. Okay. The your turn problem that goes with this is... Okay, I'm sorry about that. For some reason the screen froze, the camera that records what I was writing. So when I looked up, something I wrote wasn't there. So how is Jason's budget different from Paula's budget? It's the type of expenses that are different. Okay, so now the your turn problem that goes with this one is your turn number 2 on slide 12. So go ahead and do your turn number 2, and then we will look at example C.